This project was fun. This project was by far the probably the longest one that we've done. We shot it in 8 days over the course of like 2 weeks, and then we were editing the whole time while we were shooting. So we would literally film a scene, edit an hour later. The next day, film a scene, edit that night, edit in the morning, film a scene that night. So it was very much like that, which was actually it was fun. It was a good time. It was fun doing that. It was cool seeing, what we could come up with out of the whole thing. I understand, Mr. Vaughn, and I was showing respect for a very long time. I was on the phone with her for 2 hours. And I was taking everything from her, but I just got a
No
little.
more excuses.
I'm not giving you excuses, Mr. Vaughn. I'm telling you how it is. I've worked for you for a long time. You should I would hope that
shut
you.
up. Just what's going on with you?
The scenes between me and Chasten were shot in 2 nights, and they were shot in one location. We had about 6 or 7 scenes. The toughest part was remembering the moment before, because like one scene I had to be drunk, but like the scene before that I wasn't drunk, and then another scene I had to be sober, but the scene we had just shot I was drunk. And so it was just we had the script there, so we were like, okay, this is like our demeanor before, our demeanor after. So that was a little bit challenging, but we got through it.
Life, economics, history. This girl, it was amazing because she listened to me. It was the best thing ever. You know the most important part? I forgot about every single one of my problems.
That drunk scene, that was fun. That was a good time to stay kind of in that moment. I was acting drunk the entire 3 hours we shot that scene, because we shot the scene inside the room, and then we shot it inside the living room. And so in between takes, I was talking like this, and I was like, "Yo, Chess, I need you to come over here," just so that I didn't lose it. It was that was fun. I felt like Jim Carrey, like it was just freeing. I could just be whatever and whoever I wanted.
And my depression, gone.
The robbery scene. That was dope. That was a lot of fun. The guy was super chill that owned the house, and we found that house off of Gigster.com. Really nice guy, and it was really fun hitting I got to smash a tumble mat. This tumble mat, I was just hitting the junk out of it as much as I could. I wanted to mimic the shot of what's Paul Dano's the Riddler, when he was taking that tool and bashing in Batman. I kind of wanted that shot to mimic that shot. Brianna was amazing. She was awesome. She's actually the first girl I ever had to make out with on camera. But she was really fun. We knew each other before, so that chemistry was already there. So it wasn't like awkward or weird. My heart was pounding a lot before the first take. We did, how many takes we do? We did 4. All the scenes with me and Brianna walking around, going on walks, hugging, kissing, that was all filmed one day. Actually, within 2 hours at Rodeo Drive. Yeah, we just went to this dog park, then we went to this alleyway, and then we went to a coffee shop, and then that taco truck that was right outside Break Room 86, and so we went there, and it was fun. It was a really good time. It was very shot, very guerrilla style. It felt like Elf when he's walking around the city, going through the stores, because that's how they shot it. Jon Favreau he grabbed the camera and the mic, and Will Ferrell just did his thing. So that's really cool that we kind of had a little glimpse of what that kind of felt like. The scenes where my character was kind of just by himself and kind of in his own thoughts, we shot all those in one night. We shot it over the course of like 2 days. It was really like tough and weird because, you know, when you're sitting there as the actor, you're not doing anything. But then you have to look like you're thinking as the character. And so really coming up with, you know, what the character's going through, what Adam was going through in that time, it's really silly to talk about. But that was a little challenging. And it is a little bit tougher to show that you're depressed when you're not, but then you have to show that you are, but without doing too much, because if you do too much, then it's just fake. And so I watched a lot of, you know, actors, a lot of Al Pacino from, you know, Godfather. There were a decent amount of scenes where he was just staring into the abyss, but you realize he's thinking, and so that was kind of tough, you know, just keeping in mind just doing that, because if I didn't think, then I was just staring, and it just didn't look good, and we'd have to do another take. The scene where I broke down crying and, you know, we're trying to open the pill bottle. I couldn't open the pill bottle, and I was crying. There was just a lot going on that day, and I wasn't all there. And so it actually worked out because I couldn't open the stupid bottle, and I wanted to open it to take a couple pills, you know, and I couldn't do it. And I was talking to Chasten the entire time behind the camera, but it looked like I was more talking to myself. So that really worked.
Ain't got you here. Dude, I can't feel a fucking thing.
The gun scene, it was crazy. We were gonna do a shot from Southpaw, the movie Southpaw, when Jake Gyllenhaal has the gun and the magazine and the bullets, and he's like burying his face on the bed and screaming. We were gonna do that, but we didn't have a magazine with bullets, so we just did that simple shot, and that was such a tough scene mentally. I was crying. I can't remember what I was thinking of that broke me like that. I think I was thinking of like my brother and me never being able to see him again or something. Yeah, it was tough. But luckily we didn't stay in that moment for too long. Oh, it was scary. Burrell killed it. He really did. You know, with the cigarette, and I felt so bad. He would take a couple puffs, and once we called a cut, he would throw up. He threw up probably 3 times. I felt so bad. I should have gotten non-tobacco cigarettes, but I wasn't thinking. But now we know for next time. So yeah, but no, he was a kid. He did amazing. He really did. You know, he brought it. You know, within the first take of him, you know, punching the ground. We have this little mat that he was punching. Like, I didn't even need to add sound effects, but I ended up doing it just 'cause. And he was great. You know, I really liked his voice. You know, and his demeanor and just everything about it. Everything about him was just impeccable. It really was. And then, you know, the scenes between me and Chasten were really fun. That was our first time acting together in front of a camera. And that was definitely like, you know, a special moment. The drugs, yeah, he did a couple different takes of sniffing, but he did really well. I think the only thing I would change is maybe if he took more of like a like if he showed that his nose was burning after. But, you know, we were there. It actually worked out because then it might show that his character does this all the time and he's kind of used to the pain. But yeah, no, it was fun. We got the props and everything, and you know, he did great. He really brought it.
Find something that does. A distraction might help.
Yeah, that punch, that was, I didn't pull back enough, and I didn't pull back enough. He didn't pull back enough, and if you slow it down and go frame by frame, you can see his lips, and you can see my knuckles catching his lips. It's pretty funny. We couldn't add that take in there because of technical editing shot difficulties. But yeah, it was great. He really did a great job and selling it too. You know, it's funny. It's a lot harder, in my opinion, to sell a punch than it is to throw one. Because when you throw one, you just gotta, you just gotta Elvis Presley the thing, and you just gotta really like. I love when Elvis Presley would punch. He would just take a big swing, and it really looked like he was going at it. But to sell a punch, you get like a whiplash sometimes if you're not careful. And so, but no, Chasm, that was like his first time selling a punch, and he did it great. And then I did mine, and that's shot when he's like powering over me, and he's got that wife beater and his muscles are coming out. That was a really cool shot. I was behind the camera on that, and I was like, oh dude, this is money. This is so money.
Don't ever come back here again.
My favorite shot, and he did it, was actually at night when I was on the floor in the kitchen, and you can see the light, and it's like in a symmetrical line, and it's like cutting my face. That was probably my favorite shot. And he like got down by the clothes, and you got the clothes in the frame, and it just really looked like my character was just alone, kind of on the edge of death, really, on the edge of, just falling off the deep end. Yeah, it was a fun project. The writing was fun. It was cool adding a ton of different characters. I kind of found a cheat code that if you add at least 5 characters, then it adds more to the short. It doesn't really seem like, oh, they only have 3 actors, but it seems more like there's like a world around these characters. If you add just 5, that's it. And so yeah, it was a good time.